aura. Something happens behind you, you stay focused, you stay aura. You stay in your world, you stay in your ground. Aura, Piccolo has that aura. And I feel like, yeah. Hello, welcome to Artclstudios. I am Chanko and today we're back with a new video. Today's video is drawing Piccolo. And today's topic is stoicism. So, today I want to talk to you about a character in Dragon Ball Z who has been the most unchanged character throughout history, and that's pretty much what stoicism is the art of unchanged. Or some people think it's being cold, but it's just not reacting, not changing, just staying level-headed. And what better character to choose than Piccolo to speak about stoicism? Piccolo is somebody who his father died right before he was born, and somebody who's a loner, who's always by himself, somebody who the writers didn't level him up too much until recently, but he's always been there. He's such an important character. He's always somebody that they consult for things, but he doesn't think he's the greatest, or he doesn't think he is a god, which in the Dragon Ball Z series, or Dragon Ball Z series, he is a kami. He is the god of earth, and his father was the god of the underworld, but the father's twin was the god of the earth, which is kami. Kami means god in Japanese. But nevertheless, he's always stayed level-headed. He's become the hero to his father's murder, which is pretty insane to think about. But he protects his father, the son of his father's murderer, as if it's his own son. And he joined them to protect, the earth and protect people. And if that's not stoic, I don't know what is. I don't ever think I've seen an episode where Piccolo is reminiscent of his father's murder or his father's death. So that says a lot about the character or the type of person that he is. And to me, he's always been the guru, the person who's always meditating, who's like aura is at 1,000, and he's like in a mountain somewhere or in a hill meditating. He's like always training, but not only physically training, which is what's important for this show, but you can see him physically meditating with his eyes closed, and I wonder what he meditates about. And I might be mistaken, but I think there was one part or one episode where Gohan and Piccolo were meditating, and they were both like fighting each other in their meditation. So that's pretty interesting, and I wish that they would go into that a little bit, go develop that story or narrative a little bit. Nevertheless, the writers did, or the creators did, push Piccolo to the next level, and we finally got a little bit of transformation. But throughout this, how many years? Maybe almost 40 years or 30 something years, 89 if I'm not mistaken, or a little bit earlier, was when it was first developed, to now. Well, I'm not quite sure when Piccolo's entrance was, but I know it was in the 80s or late 80s that Piccolo was introduced, and till today he's still a pivotal character. He taught them about the fusion. They went to his planet, so they've explored a little bit about his culture, but I wish there was a little bit more of a focus. He's not the main character, but let's take a little bit of side quest for a couple of episodes and go into Piccolo's mind, Piccolo's world. What is Piccolo thinking about? Which I think will be really interesting. Now coming back to stoicism as an artist, which is my goal for this video, is to remind people, remind artists to be a little bit more stoic. And in that, because the world is so ever changing and there's a lot of distractions, we as artists, we need to remain stoic. And sometimes there's a lot of noise or a lot of things happening around us and we get distracted, so it pulls us away from creating art and creating our stories. Right now I'm working on my comic book, which I hope to be done. My goal is to have it done by next year, and I'm like in a little cocoon. But right now, to be a hermit, it's very hard. Very hard because you will always be distracted by something. There's always something happening in the news, something happening around you, and you get all the feed on your phone. We don't have a TV in my house, thank God, where we are living now in the Dominican Republic. There's not a TV. There are 2 TVs, let me correct myself, but we don't watch them, we don't turn them on. We watch what we desire, but I feel like now there's more distraction than ever was. You know, before we had the TV, we had to go somewhere. Now we carry our TVs. Where's my TV? Our TV, pocket size. Here it is. So this is, we carry around our own TVs, these devices, and it's not easy, you know, to get away from distraction, to get away from news. Thankfully there's a lot of ways to block it, and there's also another way, which is being stoic. And look at me. Being stoic, it's being unchanged, you know, on whatever happens around you, you stay firm. If something triggers you, you have a couple of seconds to have control over your emotions, to, you know, choose your reaction. You know, you may not know how to control your environments, you may not be able to control the surroundings, but you can control how you react to things, how you approach things. So you do need to have a little bit of a thicker skin. You need to be a little bit of a be more purposeful, be more driven, be more focused, be more intentional, and you will achieve what is called stoicism. Some people may think you're a little cruel, that, you know, that they can't relate, but when you're on your goal, when you're on your passion, you should be a little bit more stoic. Be more stoic. Choose who you are around. Choose, you know, you can choose certain things, like who you hang around with. You can choose what you focus on. You can choose what you click on, but don't get stuck scrolling down. You know, choose, be more mindful. You can click on the 3 little dots on the side and click, this is not interesting, or not interested in this. So curate your world and your phone. I mean, you can curate what you watch. You can curate what feeds you, what the algorithm feeds you. So you do have some control, but you do not need to wait on somebody to come save you. You do not need to wait to somebody to give you inspiration, because inspiration will come as you start doing. Being stoic is having a plan, having a goal, having a mindset of a reminder of who you are, what your purpose is, what your goal is in life. And as an artist, I think that for me as an artist, what keeps me going, ultimately that's a goal for me to keep going, create art, is my childhood. You know, remembering about my childhood and recreating those moments in different scenarios, maybe a little bit more exaggerated. And yeah, I'm a little bit all over the place when it comes to being driven sometimes, but reminder, you know, set yourself goals, set yourself a timeline, and go for it. You know, you will get distracted, but get back on that horse. You know, get back on the horse, write your roadmap, and know where you're going. You will hit this, you will hit that, and you will hit the other thing. Those should be your goals. And as you achieve every goal, now you know that you're on the right path, you're on the right system, you're on the right trajectory. So you will get distracted, you will be discouraged, you will be left by yourself. But this is the time that you need to focus on your things. You need to focus on creating And again, like I said, I'm working on my comic book. Hopefully I have it done by next year, printed, published, and everything. And that's my mission right now. I'm working on that, but I needed to finish these 5 drawings and publish 5 videos on these topics. Each one, Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, Broly, and Piccolo. Even though he's not a Saiyan, these are the top 5 main guys. And you'll see in this poster that Piccolo, now that he's orange and he's leveled up, he is the man, you know, he's the main man, and he's finally gone through transformation. So big ups to Piccolo, the stoic Dragon Ball Z fighter. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. Share it with a friend or somebody that you think, or an artist that needs to hear about stoicism, being stoic when you are making your artworks, being stoic when you're making decisions in your life, and being stoic when decisions are made around you, but you don't let them affect you. All right, catch you on the next one. Peace. Never stop learning for you, because when you learn, you can teach others. Peace. Aura.